So I was looking through my notes. I sat down with Matt Ishbia right at the beginning of the season, the owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He said the word win 13 times in 3 minutes. He said championship 3 times. That means the man didn't go more than 12 seconds without referencing one of those 2 words. So obviously this was not the team that was put together to get swept right in the first round. How disappointing is this, Kendrick, for the Suns?
It's one of the biggest, in my eyes, the biggest disappointment. You can't have a big 3 in Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant and not win one game in the series. Forget winning the series. They got swept. And here's the thing, right? We've been questioning all season long about the leadership, and I've been harping on that. But you know the funny thing about all of this is that I'm not the one to go looking for information. Sometimes information finds me. And what I noticed, what we saw last night with the behavior of Bradley Beal and Frank Vogel, we saw that, right? The dab off or the slapping of the hand. We saw the bad body language. But this has been going on all season long, led by Kevin Durant, okay? When you have a disconnect in the locker room where your 2-time MVP, 2-time finals MVP and your 2-time NBA champion is not talking to your head coach because he's mad about the play calling and mad about not being the number 1 option, this is what happens. Not everybody else in the organization or on the team feel like they could disrespect Frank Vogel or drown him out for us listening to his schemes or his strategies. And so when I think about that, you have to, if you're the head coach, you have to have the support from the front office, the people at top to be able to go in there and demand the locker room. But Frank Vogel does not have that, and it's probably looking dangerous for him.
It's looking dangerous everywhere out there in the Valley of the Sun. It's looking a little scorched earth. It's looking a little burnt. But to me, when I look at this, there's no reason that Booker, Beal, and Durant should be minus 51 over the course of this entire series.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. So I can understand Kevin Durant's frustrations. I guess you can say a little bit like, I didn't play to my strengths, but you still had, what, did he average like 27 this year at the age of 35? You still had a tremendous season. Beal, I mean, unfortunately, it didn't seem like he acclimated well with the duo of Booker. We finally got a huge Booker performance, but it never came together at the right time. To me, this was the most expensive sweep that we've seen.
Right.
It's a sweep that will have implications on the way teams are constructed for the future based off of the way that the CBA is. And it's going to be interesting to see how these guys pivot. What can be salvageable after getting sunburnt?
Yep.
And what cannot be.
I'm glad you brought up expensive. Phoenix is married next season, our Barbie Marks notes, to the most expensive roster in NBA history. And there are not a whole lot of moves that they can make. Brian, where do they go from here?
They can functionally only trade 3 players, other than minimum salary players, which you're not going to be able to trade for much. That is Devin Booker, who is your franchise player, Kevin Durant, who you're not going to be able to get equal return for. I can't see that being something they want to do. Or Jusuf Nurkic, who is their franchise center and doesn't have an incredible amount of value in the league. They have traded 4 first-round picks, 6 second-round picks, and 4 first-round swaps. They are essentially locked into this roster. And that is a situation we've never seen before.
Right.
We've seen a historic gamble on these big 3 combined with these new rules that restrict what you are as a high-spending team. I'll also take you back when the Heat brought their big 3 together. They were obviously an imperfect team. In year 2, they signed Shane Battier. In year 3, they signed Ray Allen. They were a juggernaut. Those were signings with the mid-level exception. They can't do it. They're not allowed to use it. It's taken away.